In the heart of Queens, New York, a city where dreams shimmer behind every skyline and the streets never sleep, there lived a girl named Annika Tanya Marriage. To the world, she would one day be known as Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap. But before the fame, the music, and the barbs, she was just a strong-willed teenage girl with pink notebooks full of lyrics and a heart full of ambition. And across the same borough, not too far from where the Minaj household stood, lived a boy named Kenneth Zoo Petty. He was bold, street-smart, and carried himself like a man who had lived 1,000 lives before the age of 20. They were both from South Jamaica, Queens, raised by grit, driven by survival, and molded by the same concrete jungle. Nicki first met Kenneth at age 16. It was a summer night, the kind where the air smells like fire hydrant mist and bodega sandwiches. Nicki was at a local house party her cousin dragged her to. It wasn't her scene, the bass was too loud, the crowd too wild, and she'd rather be writing bars in her room. But then she saw him. Kenneth wasn't dancing or trying to impress anyone. He stood against the wall, watching the room with calm, sharp eyes. There was a quiet confidence about him. Their eyes met across the room, a brief moment, but it lingered like an echo. Minutes later, she was outside catching air when Kenneth stepped out, lighting a cigarette. "You don't look like you're enjoying the party," he said, smirking. Nicki turned, giving her signature eye roll. "Is it that obvious? You got the kind of energy that don't blend in with the noise. You're different." That line stuck with her. They talked. About music, dreams, family. He didn't know she'd become a superstar someday, and she didn't know he'd become her anchor. But in that moment, there was honesty, no filters, no pretenses. They dated for a few months as teens. He called her Nick and told her she was fire, long before the world did. She called him Zoo, and said he was trouble, the kind a good girl can't help but fall for. They were young, raw, and reckless. But then life, as it always does, got in the way. Circumstances shifted. Kenneth had legal issues. Nicki moved on, chasing her dream of stardom. Years passed. Nicki skyrocketed into fame. Hit after hit. Red carpets. World tours. Platinum records. But with every success, her heart felt a little emptier. The industry was glittering but lonely. She had love, yes, but never the kind that saw her for Annika, only for Nicki Minaj. In 2018, over a decade later, something unexpected happened. Nicki was back in Queens, visiting her mother for Thanksgiving. She decided to go on a quiet late-night walk through her old neighborhood, hoodie up, shades on, nostalgia in her chest. At the corner store, she stopped to grab a soda. And that's when she heard a voice behind her. "Nick?" She turned. It was him. Kenneth. Older, more weathered, but still those same eyes. The quiet confidence was there, but now with wisdom behind it. He looked at her not like a fan, not like a stranger, but like the girl he once knew. "Zoo?" she whispered, stunned. They stepped outside and sat on the curb like old times. Talked for hours. About everything, what they'd lost, what they'd learned, and how time changes people but not souls. Nicki didn't feel like a superstar that night. She felt like Annika again. Safe. Real. That night turned into daily texts. Then late-night calls. Then quiet. Meetups away from paparazzi. It wasn't long before their hearts found their rhythm again. Everyone questioned her choice. He's from the streets. He's not on her level. But Nicki didn't care. Kenneth knew her before the wigs, before the fame. He loved her with no agenda. He protected her peace. He grounded her. He would kiss her on the forehead before her shows and say, "No matter how big the crowd gets, remember you're still that girl from Southside." And she'd smile and say, "Only you can talk to me like that." In 2019, they got married quietly. No flashy weddings. No big headlines. Just love, real and raw. To this day, when Nicki holds Kenneth's hand, she doesn't see his past or her fame, she sees the boy who told her she was different under a streetlight in Queens. Their story isn't perfect, but it's theirs. Built on loyalty, forgiveness, growth, and a love that found its way home, even after years apart.